A secret anyone will die to keep hidden is about to be untold. The secret that may shake the very foundation of Christianity. In the first part of this movie, we see that Jesus had a wife called Mary Magdalene. The people that don't want this secret to come out have been killing the descendants of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. A man named Robert and a female named Sophie have come together to find the hidden truth. Lee is seen explaining the history of Christ to Robert. He says that Christ left his ministry to Mary Magdalene, so Christianity is to be led by women. He further says that Mary Magdalene was pregnant at the time Jesus was crucified. She flew to France and gave birth to a girl named Sarah. That was why most free-spirited women were killed and accused of witchcraft centuries ago. Lee's butler named Remy calls his boss. Lee comes in telling Robert that he and Sophie are wanted by the police. Lee is about to call the police when Robert tells him that Sophie is one of the protectors of Jesus's bloodline. They give Lee an item that has the map of location Mary Magdalene's remains were kept. Silas, one of the people killing Christ's bloodline, comes in with a gun and asks for the artifact. Lee gives it to him and hits his leg with a cane. It turns out that Silas had an equipment causing him pain on his leg. The police are seen outside. They hear a gunshot and take down the door. Lee takes everyone in his car and they leave. They are seen in a plane. Sophie goes to Silas asking him whether he was the one who killed her grandfather. Fatch, the police in charge of catching Robert and also the soldier of the priests wanting to kill Jesus's bloodline, is disappointed for losing Robert again. Fatch goes to the airlines and asks for the report of Lee's plane. The operator refuses and Fatch beats him up for it. Lee explains that Mary Magdalene went into hiding for the rest of her life and her remains were hidden by the protectors of her bloodline as evidence of the hidden truth. Robert looks at the device given to him by Sonny Air. He uncovers another clue and Lee asks the pilot to take him to London. Lee says that he had been reading history all his life, but now, he is making it. The priest in charge of the killing calls a man named the Teacher. The Teacher is the person giving information about the protectors of Mary Magdalene's remains to the priest and his killers. Their plane arrives in London and they are surrounded by the police. The police check the plane but don't find anything. They allow them to go and we see that Robert and Sophie left the plane into a car before it almost parked. The trio go into a church to search for clues. Silas comes in and takes Sophie hostage, requesting for the device containing the map. Remy comes in and betrays them, pointing his gun at them. They take Lee hostage and go with him. Remy chases after Robert and Sophie with a gun. We see Fatch searching Lee's car. He sees the name of the protectors of Jesus bloodline that have been murdered. Remy takes Silas to a building and poses as the Teacher. He is seen drinking with a man. He falls dead due to poison and we see Lee calling the police on Robert. Robert and Sophie are seen in a public museum. They see footprints and the movement of two canes. The police come to Silas. He tries to escape but the police start shooting. Silas kills some cops and ends up shooting his priest. Silas raises his hands and is shot. We see Fatch with the ambulance. He realizes that the priest used him and he tells the priest that Silas is dead. Fatch sees that the killer is Lee and tells the cops to track him. Lee shows his true colors to Robert and Sophie as he points his gun at them. He tells them that he is the Teacher and that he pretended to be part of the killers to find the tomb of Magdalene himself. He gives the device to Robert for him to break the code. Robert starts to remember all the things he saw in the museum to break the code. He says he can't and throws the device. The device falls as the map is destroyed. Lee wails as Fatch and The cops come for him. The duo is seen in Fox's office and he apologizes for the suspicions against them. They are seen leaving. Lee screams about his disappointment in Robert for destroying the map. He looks at Robert's face and realizes that Robert got the map out before it was destroyed. Robert and Sophie go to a church. They move underground and enter a private zone. They enter a room and open a safe below. Robert sees many files as goes through them. He sees Da Vinci's paintings which had not been revealed to the world. He realizes that Saunier wasn't Sophie's grandfather but the leader of the Protectors. It turns out that Sophie is the last descendant of Jesus Christ and also a descendant of David. They both come out and see the Protectors waiting. They greet them as a lady claiming to be Sophie's grandmother appears. She explains everything to them and they are seen outside. They say their goodbyes and Sophie tries to walk on water. She stops as she almost falls. Robert is seen in his bathroom.